Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Hope you're having a fantastic day. I tried this once already, but I guess I showed too much of the video. So I'm going to just show a few short clips that I have prepared, but we'll also talk about the rest of it because I got to tell you, this this is one of the absolute worst sports takes I think I've ever seen. And not because it's Caitlin Clark. It's just really, really dumb. Like this is a take from a guy who doesn't know anything about the sport of basketball. I don't know how else to describe it. Or it just has such an irrational hatred for the subject, which in this case is Caitlin Clark. But this is as bad as anything I've ever seen. I mean, this makes takes by Stephen A. Smith or Andrea Carter or J.J. Redick or who's that idiot on Around the Horn? Max Kellerman, um, Dawn Staley. I mean, they look absolutely brilliant, like Harvard grads compared to some of the stuff by Skip. Now, as you can see, he says, I lost a little respect for Caitlin Clark. Now, the beginning of this, he talks about how confused he is because Caitlin Clark came to the WNBA as the greatest shooter in the history of college basketball. Talked about, her logo threes and how exciting that was, and that she was the female Steph Curry, and then somehow she's morphed into the female John Stockton. And then he talks about, for those of you that didn't see it, he mentions, I believe it was after the Fever last game before the All-Star break. It could have been after the All-Star game. I'm not completely sure. I just remember the video where she talks about how sometimes she gets so focused on getting her teammates involved and getting them easy buckets and passing that she kind of loses focus and forgets about scoring the basketball. So he's very upset about that as well. But what Skip doesn't realize, he also says that she's got the weight of the league on her shoulders and that she's clearly crumbled under that weight. Let me play that.
And at times, she clearly has crumbled under that weight.
She really, in what way? In what way? She has MVP contender numbers. She's taken a team that won 13 games last year, and they're already have won 11 in their first 26. They've got 14 more games. She leads the WNBA in assists while still averaging over 17 points per game. I just, uh, anyway. So here's what really gets me. I want to play this little bit apart. He transitions into, she quickly realized that she can be more spectacular and live up to her building by focusing on passing. This we'll play this first and then I'll comment.
So she quickly realized she can be more consistently spectacular, can more consistently live up to her billing, to her expectations as a passer than a shooter.
Okay, now what he is saying there is that Caitlin Clark doesn't lead the league in assists because Caitlin Clark is a great passer. No, no, no. Caitlin Clark selfishly is passing the ball more because what matters to Caitlin Clark is living up to her billing, living up to her expectations. And it's easier for her to do that by now focusing on passing than shooting. I want you to think about that for a second. By the way, Skip, who apparently should be an expert, right? I mean, you should know a little bit about the sport of basketball, maybe your subject matter, considering you do this for a living and have for a long time, and you get paid very, very well, and you have a team of researchers. Caitlin Clark, as all of you listening, I'm sure, are aware, but apparently Skip is not, has led the nation in assists 3 years in a row in college. Sophomore, junior, senior year, she was the number one assist leader in the nation. She's a pretty good passer, Skip. Always has been. So he talks about how she's 41 assists more than anybody else in the league, which he said, and this is the sentence I wanted to use for what I just said. I didn't see that coming. I didn't see that coming. As I just said, she led the league, led the nation in assists 3 years in a row in college. And then he says, this brings up to the point of basketball, to the point that, excuse me, she passes the basketball. Caitlin Clark will try just about any pass, anywhere, at any time. She will try to thread any needle through 3 or 4 defenders to get the ball to Aaliyah Boston. And this really ticked me off. Okay, I'm going to start that with the ball to Aaliyah Boston. I want you to listen to the next sentence.
The ball to Aaliyah Boston to create a viral highlight so that she can better live up to her billing.
Did you get that? To go on top of what I just said, all these passes she's throwing, the only reason Caitlin Clark's doing is what's on Caitlin Clark's mind, because Skip's a mind reader, is to create viral moments. Create viral moments so that people can praise her for being the player that they thought she was. She's not doing it to help the team. She's not doing it to help her teammates. She's not doing it because she's a competitor who wants to win. No, no, no. According to Skip, she's throwing all these passes to create viral moments. And then he says, I have watched Caitlin Clark try one bad idea pass after another, one after another, after another, after another, until she also leads the WNBA in turnovers. Now, I don't know, but if you've watched the game, you probably haven't seen Caitlin Clark throw one bad idea pass after another. I certainly have not. I've seen some passes that don't work. And again, when you're going to throw the type of passes she throws, yes, you're going to have some that don't work out. You also have a lot of teammates, which Skip has conveniently missed out on, that drop passes that hit them right in the hands. And then he goes into that one bad idea pass. She now leads the WNBA in turnovers and emphasizes how bad that is, to the point where he says it would be almost hard to do if you were trying to throw the ball to the other team or throw it out of bounds. So, see, if you were purposely trying to commit a turnover, you still couldn't have more turnovers than Caitlin Clark. And again, that I like to point out that no one who knows basketball would say this. I just did a video on another topic where I literally in that video said that if anybody argues with you against Caitlin Clark being a great player and screams turnovers the way they love to do, that person is an idiot who doesn't know basketball, and you need to ignore them and not have any more debate because it'll just frustrate you because they have no idea what they're talking about. Anybody who knows basketball understands that the players who have the ball more, your stars, your players that have the ball a lot more, your players that get a lot of assists, they're going to have more turnovers. I did 2 deep dive videos on this. Greatest the turnover list for the NBA is basically a Hall of Fame list as well. And yes, that also when you break it down by season, because some people came back and said, "Oh, well, they play the longest; they're going to have the most." Yeah, break it down by season, break it down by game. It's the same thing. Guys like Russell Westbrook won MVPs the same year they led the league in turnovers. And yes, it's the same in the WNBA. I believe the top 3 are Sue Bird, Diana Taurasi, and Becky Hammon, who's in the Hall of Fame. So again, you're either just you have an irrational hatred for Caitlin Clark, or it's so unbelievably embarrassing how little you know about the sport of basketball, and yet you're on television getting paid to analyze it. It is absolutely ridiculous. I think I had one more bit in here I wanted to mention. And yeah. Okay, well, I don't even have to play him say this, but he says what really shocked and disappointed Skip, as I'm sure that bothers Caitlin, was that she declined to participate in the All-Star 3-point shootout. Why? She doesn't owe anybody anything. She had an incredibly busy weekend because don't forget, she has big time sponsors paying her a lot of money, and she had a bunch of sponsor obligations. She's been playing nonstop since last October. Oh, and Sabrina Ionescu didn't do the three-point shooting contest. And by the way, now that they're regular occurrences and they've kind of lost their luster, you just like the NBA. I mean, it happens sometimes, but for the NBA, for the most part, your stars, the way it used to be when it started, you had guys like Michael Jordan who would do it. They don't do it anymore either. For the same reason, there's a lot of other stuff going on. They have sponsor obligations. It's a weekend more that they where they want to relax than be competitive in those types of things. So, I mean, this is just so unbelievably ridiculous. Was there something else? Yeah, I just want to play this because I want you to actually hear this part. Hopefully, it doesn't get blocked. If it does, I'll say it for you and edit it
And
out, I guess.
okay, I get it, but I must admit I lost a little respect for Caitlin Clark. I thought she was it, capital I, capital T. And for now, I just think she's really good.
Wow, wow. Oh man, the uncensored rant I'd like to do for this video is, oh, that'd be wild. But mean, am I missing something, y'all? Is Skip just trolling? Like, does he think that's where to go for his career that's floundering? I mean, nobody watches Undisputed anymore. Like I said, I've got sadly not enough. So all of you can work on that. Maybe some likes and comments and subscribes, so we can get all of the videos like that. But I've got some videos that get more views than his shows get. Yeah, I know he's got YouTube and all that, and it adds up. But still, the fact that I can have some videos on this stuff when I, you know, have 5,000 subscribers and he's getting, 50,000 people watching his show is crazy. But this is why there's no. I mean, if you watch this, and I know this, I'm setting up the haters because they're going to come in the comments and say the same thing about me. But if you watch this, are you like, yeah, man, that's Skip. He knows his basketball. I'm going to be tuning in. He knows his stuff. Good stuff. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for checking out this video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will talk to you later.